It's not raining, but it's still a little wet in the, what do you call it? I don't know if I call this a forest, but around the trails, it's quite densely bushed area, but it's still kind of wet and things are dripping, but there's nothing falling from the sky. Every time we went out yesterday, it was raining. And, it started to be a lot. The ground's all soaked, so the area got some rain. We'll be back in a short bit with our talk for the day. Nico's got to finish what he started, and then we'll have a good little chat. We'll talk to you later. Bye now. Well, PacNet. It's a mail ordering process company that's headquarters in Vancouver, has recently been pointed out by the U.S. Attorney General for milking a lot of Americans, and I'm sure there's quite a few Canadians, out of money and life savings because they say they've won something, and that there's processing fees, and that there's, con artists, and, people actually send money out to these people, and it's the company that processes. And, my thought really is that anyone who deals in this sort of activities should be charged. And right now, I have to say that they are alleged. And, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And the U.S. Justice Department has to prove this point. But you know what? I'm thinking they probably more than likely are guilty, but we can't really say. But people are always looking for that ultimate get rich, where you don't work for anything, but, things always seem to work out for the best, and that's not going to happen. We need to remember that people who get anywhere in this world have to do it pretty much on their hard work. Now, if someone's scamming someone, and a lot of people say the presidential or the person in the presidential race who's, gets far ahead, doesn't really do it from working. Yes, they've scammed an awful lot of people. And, you have to be aware. And, this company is so far entrenched, and now they come out and say that they've stopped dealing with these fly-by-night agencies and con artists. Well, maybe you should have done it before. Like coming out and saying, oh, well, we're not going to deal with them now because the U.S. Attorney General is clamping down on us is ludicrous. Why do people have to put up with, these informations but like I said earlier, people try to win and come out, oh yes, I could win millions. That's why lotteries are so popular, because the government, it's more or less now government sanctioned, but the government comes out and they ensure that these games are fair. They're not run as an unfair dealings. And a lot of money goes into all these places. But if you get a letter from someone and saying, oh yes, you have a chance to win millions, but you have to send in a processing fee. Well, you have to think to yourself, really? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And people think, oh well, I'm not gonna be stupid and not, how do I say it? Go for these fly-by-night agencies. Because you know what? You need to worry about things. You have pressures, and a lot of times it's older people who go in for this scheme because they need, life. They need the money. But people, you need to wake up, and you need, if you want to go and do something, you can work hard for your money. You've probably worked hard for your money if it's senior citizens, but people always seem to think, well, look, it's only $25. I can put $25. And you know what? There's never any winner. So why go for it? And all these people, and all they're doing is they're raking in the money. So, stick to the games you know. Stick to the BC Lottery or the Western Canada Lottery Corporation, or I don't know if they split up yet, or the Eastern. Do something that's associated with the government. And, it's not going to be like, oh, it's going to fold today. Well, if someone's saying, oh, you've got to get the money in now, well, that's probably, something that you really have to look into. And you can phone, you can call the Better Business Bureau. You can call the police, You can find out if these are actually, or if there's any complaints against these agencies. But people act quickly, they think, oh well, I'm not going to be able to get in on this. I'm going to lose out millions. But you know what? You are going to miss out on millions because they don't exist. You have the same chances as if you did nothing. So I've received these letters before. I've thrown them out. And you know what? We all need to take some time out, do an investigation. And I'm sure you'll find people who have had complaints. And, if someone's mailing you something and saying, oh yes, you could win billions. But, government-sponsored things don't send you individual letters. If they advertise on to everyone. They don't send out individual letters to people. And you know what? Some people you know, lose out. And, I'm really feeling sorry that they lose out. But, you know, I think you need to do some investigation. And you need to get out and search. You know, with the internet, you can find all about everyone. And look, years ago, and I think this was in the 80s, and it's still a big joke nowadays, about the Nigerian royal family. Well, you know what? There's no such thing. But how many people were taken in by this until people started to wake up? And you need to wake up sometimes. People need to understand that you need to learn that you're not going to get anything for nothing. And if people are asking for money as a clearing fee, it's not truthful. You know, if you write them and ask them for information, a legitimate company would be glad to send out information about who's won, and so that you can track down. If they're not true, well, you know what? They're not going to come out with these things. And I think too often, we get under the stress of life. And I know I get caught up with not having money and, not being able to work. So the little money I have, if people in the similar positions, oh wow, for $25, I could have it. But, people in the government-run lotteries are, you can track them down, or you can track, they're real people. They're not actors put on. So, you can't be just there and think you're going to win, because I'm going to say it again, you're not going to win. But, we need to continually work, and I'm sure a lot of these elderly people, they want to leave something to their families. Oh, yes, I would love to, get a large inheritance. But you know what? It's not going to come from a fraudulent letter. If you have any questions, get answers before you send in any money. They're good, and once you get money from them, you're going to continually receive these letters and how great all of you people are, and oh yes, you win. And I really have an aversion to anyone who goes out and tries to get money out of people. You need to keep the money you have. And nowadays, pension plans go under. And if a pension plan goes under, you're not going to have any money left. So, why not keep your money where it will be able to do the best? Having money out there and giving it away, you're pretty well just giving it away. You're not going to gain anything back. Now, if there's agencies out there that are running legitimate, I apologize, but on the whole, these things aren't legitimate, and you know what? You've got to learn not to be gullible. Go down to your local convenience store and buy a lottery ticket. That's where your chances are to win. But you know what? People keep going out and keep doing this. It's people who have worked damn hard for their money, and they shouldn't have the right. So now, if it is proven by this agency, then I hope the Americans and I hope the Canadians go after these agencies. You can't thank you, you can't win. And if people are asking for money for a clearance fee, lotteries, yes, you have to pay a couple of dollars in. But when you're getting into processing fees and everything, that's garbage. Don't send money out. And it's a bad sign on, the Canadian areas, and especially the BC government, or not government, sorry, but the BC area, that, we're harboring these agencies. And I'm sorry. I'm really thinking these agencies need to be shut down. If they knew about this, I'm sorry, you need to be shut down, and you need to be shut down right now. But somehow all these things won't come out, and they say the Americans are trying to seize the accounts. Well, the Americans can't seize the Canadian accounts. So we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, there's a story. And this story keeps playing out where husband and wives who reach that time in their lives where they need to go into rest homes. And because one requires a more acute care than the other, they separate them. Now, there's people who this continually happens to. And if they both need care, they both need care. And yes, some care homes take in only people who require more acute than others. Well, maybe we need to use the example of the one that's out in downtown Vancouver, BC, where, they have different levels of care. And, at least they're in the same household. When you break up someone who's been together for years, we're talking, I think they said, they couldn't say 62 years, but anywhere over 50 years. If they've been together that long, well, you know what? They're used to seeing each other's face. But, oh no, well, we can't take her because it doesn't fit our mandate. Well, maybe you need to take a look at this and, come out and learn that love makes people last longer. If they've been together and they care enough about each other, separating them up has a detrimental effect. Look how many people pass away shortly after the first one has passed on. It's because, they miss that person. And, all these government agencies and, oh, they have a right to separate things up. Now, if a person goes into the hospital, well, maybe we should make every effort to ensure that people get taken care of. And I mean, if you take one in to the hospital, well, family, friends should make every effort to take them and look after them and make sure they get taken out to see these people every day if they have to. Because, and here we sit, oh, well, I don't have time for this. And, a lot of times kids, oh, well, I have to work, I have to make a living. Well, how much did these people give you and took care of you? And, there's a lot more to life than the, magical dollar bill. But, separating up couples and everything, and, yes, but people, you know, dying, and oh well, can we get the other person there fast enough? And you know what? I really don't care. I think if one person needs more senior care than the other, then let's work on getting married units and, keep up and allowing these people to be together until the very end. You know, don't wait until, people pass away and then the other one pass away. You know, some people think, well, older people, that's it. And, they put an awful lot into the society that we live in today. So they deserve all the best. And if we're not able to give people these best, well, it's sad. And now this latest couple finally was able to get in the same nursing home. But it took so much work. Why should it take that much work to get people into the same home? You have to think about it. Well, just laying around, just getting ready to edit this, and there's the glasses, sorry. But, don't take advantage of things that sound too good to be true. More than likely, they are. And remember the older people in our society. One day you're going to be there. So have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now. And make it a great weekend.